Hello and welcome to Better Than Art School. This is a lecture, but it's more of a demonstration. This is just a charcoal demo, and what I'm going to do is show you the tools that you use to do a charcoal drawing, and I'm going to do part of a drawing of drapery so that you can see how to use it. So I've been using drapery. I've been using charcoal for a long time. This is a drawing I did back, and I guess I've been using drapery too, come to think of it. Um, but I've been using charcoal. This drawing was done in 2011, and I like the how dark you can get with charcoal. You can get these really nice, rich, dark areas. You can also fill in a huge area with tones, and it goes a lot quicker than pencil. It's also really forgiving. It's easy to erase. It's easy to move things around. It's a great way to plan paintings. And you might say, well, isn't charcoal really messy? Yes, it is very messy. But here's the good news. Charcoal does not hurt your body like oil paint does, for instance. It's actually good for you. People intentionally put it on their face to unclog their pores. So my best friend and I brushing our teeth with charcoal, and yeah, it's good for you. So it's the one art material that I can say is actually good for you. Okay, so to do this exercise, what you want to do is find some kind of sheet, towel, shirt. Well, shirt might not be as good, but something, a sheet would be the best. And I'm using a doggy blanket here. And I put it on a wall next to a window. So think about putting it next to a light source, a lamp will do fine. And what you're going to do is you're going to pin it to the wall twice. I would recommend putting one a little higher than the other, and then try to get a nice fold in the middle. Okay, so set up your sheet on the wall with two pins next to a light source. Now to the materials of charcoal drawing. This is what you're going to start the drawing with. This is how you're going to tone the paper. This is called compressed charcoal. It's got flat edges. This is called the chamois. Looks like it's spelled chamois. Okay, this is kneaded eraser. This is called the vine charcoal. You're going to do the majority of the drawing with the vine charcoal. You're going to go back over it with your charcoal pencils. And finally, these are called shading stumps. And these are kind of optional, honestly. I mean, they do help you get fine-tune some of your values, but you can do a perfectly good charcoal drawing without them. Okay, so now I'm going to tone the paper. And I'm going to tone the paper first with the compressed charcoal, holding it very, very lightly. I'm not pushing down hard at all. I'm just skating across the surface. Then I'm going to go back over that with the chamois, the cheesecloth, just going in circular motions, lightly still. And all I want is just a halftone. I want a tone that I can use throughout the drawing, just a medium halftone like that, okay? And if you get much darker, you won't be able to see your line, so keep it light. Okay, so now I'm actually going to do the drawing. I'm starting with the vine charcoal. Sometimes it's called willow charcoal, basically the same thing. Get the soft, extra soft kind. The hard kind is pretty much useless in my opinion. So follow the folds, follow the lines of the drapery. Just do your best. Doesn't have to be perfect the first time. Just get the basic proportions, follow the folds, and if you can tell, if you can see, what I'm doing is I'm holding the vine charcoal on its side. And I'm not just using the point like I would with a pencil. I'm actually using the entire side of it to make the lines. You'll get better lines that way, or straight lines. Then you can just go side to side and make a value like that. It's just that easy. Okay, this is all very erasable. That's a great thing about vine charcoal. It's very easy to erase. And so if you make a mistake, you can just take the chamois and go boom, take it back, and then it's gone. Okay? All right, so I'm just getting the basic shape of it, trying to fit it into the paper. And this can go pretty quick. You can mass it out. You can kind of get the major contours of it, the major shape of it in 10 minutes or less. And I would go kind of quick. Think about it like writing a bad first draft for a paper, then you'll go back over it later and fine tune it. Okay, so now I'm taking the kneaded eraser. I'm going to lift the lights out. So I pushed in the darks. Now I'm going to lift the lights back out. That's the idea here. Okay. So what you do is you kind of half close your eyes, you squint your eyes, and you think about, okay, where's the light coming from? In my case, it's coming from the left side, and it's sweeping across. And some planes of this drapery turn up into the light, some turn down away from the light, and I'm just trying to make those little comparisons as I go. Okay, And value drawing is all about comparison. Value is totally relative. If you want to make something look brighter, just surround it by darkness, and vice versa. Okay, so this is the drawing when it's all just vine and eraser, and now I'm going to push in the darkest darks. And I'm going to use the compressed charcoal that we used to start. But now I'm pushing a little harder, and I'm going for the darkest darks. The reason I'm doing this, it's called keying the drawing. You're trying to find the lightest light and the darkest dark. You're trying to find your bright key and your dark key. In the real world, there's very little white or black. It's almost all color and grays, and so you're just finding the few areas where it gets really dark or really light. Okay, and then everything else is going to be less than that. What I'm doing right here is noticing that the wall is darker than the sheet. So I'm just trying to distinguish the sheet from the wall. There's still a progression of light on both. Okay, so this is the drawing about an hour into it. I just wanted to show this because even in an hour you can get a pretty good idea of drapery. But I would work on this drawing for about 6 hours. Okay, you'll get a really nice, really beautiful drawing. It can be meditative, it can be slow, and don't draw faster than you can think. Just go slowly and make millions of little comparisons. Okay, this little area is a little darker than that. This is a little lighter than that. Be a visual scientist. Think, okay, this is turning into the light. It's turning away from the light. The light's hitting this area differently than this place. Is it reflected light? Just be thinking the whole time, you know? Squint your eyes, follow the light, and think the whole time. Some other exercises I'd highly recommend is to buy some of these geometric shapes. You can buy them at art supply stores, or maybe your school has some that you can practice with. And they're usually plaster. And these are charcoal drawings done on toned paper and then heightened with white chalk. Okay, the benefit of that is that you use that same tone throughout as much as you can, and then you push in the darks, pull out the lights, just like we did with the drapery drawing. And in all these cases, you're going to use as much of the tone as you can throughout, and to keep that as a constant. And then you're going to lift the lights out and push the darks in. And once you get used to it, it's actually fun and pretty easy. Okay, I hope that will help you with charcoal, and I will see you next time. There's my dog in 3 times. Thanks.